of the most important questions or concerns you will have in the event of an accident on the job will be, is my settlement enough to cover my cost? So it's important to know what are all the factors you have to consider. Richard Griffin of the Griffin Law Firm joins us now to talk about just that. Welcome. Now, are we talking about workers' comp and personal injury together?
We are. You know, one of the things that I'm often asked every single time I represent someone, and a lot of times when people call in looking for an attorney, they want to know, what is my case worth? And you know, there are two different claims. You can even have each claim from the same accident. But if you have a personal injury case where someone causes a negligent, like a car accident, you're going to have a case that's worth a certain amount. Well, if you were on the job when that happened, the workers' comp claim is going to have a totally different evaluation. Now, the factors that are important are, number one, you get an attorney, because without an attorney, you're at the adjuster's mercy if it's personal injury or workers' comp. But after that, you know, how severely injured are you? And how long are you going to be out of work, or how long are you going to require treatment? Is the treatment going to be conservative care, or is it going to require injections and surgeries and be an ongoing problem, or maybe even a permanent loss of use and an impairment where you're going to lose the ability to do things for the rest of your life? So those are all factors that come into it, whether it's a personal injury or workers' comp. But people always go, well, why is the case worth what it's worth? And that's something that you really need. We're going to talk about it today, but you need to call 877-PAIN-LAW, because that is the only way for me to really give you that answer. We can talk about broad strokes, but changes, subtle changes in the nuances of the facts are going to make a huge difference in the value.
Best way I know to explain all of this is usually with an example, and you always bring a good one so we can get the concept.
That's right. I've got a graphic I'd love to show. Basically, if you look at the right column, you've got the personal injury cases. This means we're going to tally up all of the damages, and we're going to send that to the adjuster and try to recover. So that's all of the medical, past and future, all the lost wages, past and future, pain and suffering, permanent impairment if you have that loss of use of your body forever, and then the punitive damages if it's a DUI or hit and run. Now you see the two X's. They're a little different on the workers' comp. They're going to pay for things as you go. So the medical is only the unpaid or the future medical. They're paying for those bills as you go, so they don't have to pay for them twice. Income benefits are your lost wages. They're going to pay 2/3 of your average weekly wage as you incur that. Now, they don't do that without a fight sometimes. And then the last one was the permanent impairment, where there's a rating. So those are the two different situations and two different ways to evaluate it. And we do have a case where a heating and air technician was injured on the job, and it's interesting to see how that played out as far as the value.
You bring a graphic for
that.
I
do have
love
a second graphic. So this is one where the total recovery was $330,000. So personal injury was $250,000. That were multiple policies, and we got every policy that was there. There probably would have been a bigger recovery had there been more insurance. Workers' comp, again, we're recovering for what's still left to be paid. So $80,000 was the exposure that they had in future income benefits and future medical treatment and the impairment benefits. So
this guy came out okay in the end.
He did.
Felt good.
He did. And you know, getting the recovery that you need is so important, because you only get one chance at it, and you've got to be able to transition yourself. A lot of times, if it's on the job injury, you may have to move to a different type of work because you may not be able to do that anymore. So getting that lump sum settlement in both instances that fully compensates you is going to be
And so once the settlement happens, that's the settlement. You can't go back. Is that what you're saying?
That's true.
So,
That's true. So if you do it yourself and you mess up, it's too bad. I mean, it's sad. It's awful. You know, we get phone calls where people said, I got $500 and I signed the check, and we say, well, we've got really bad news. We hate it for you, but you've just settled your case. Sometimes that happens when someone might eventually need to have surgery, and they've let it go for such a small amount.
Oh gosh, another reason why it's so good just to give you a call.
That's right.
So easy. Don't forget to get the help that you need. Contact the Griffin Law Firm. You can call 877-PAIN-LAW. You can also log on to 877painlaw.com.